ahead and get recording on this guy. And we have ourselves our McCree here.
Everyone squared away?
Is this mostly McCree VOD? Are we going to see a lot of Hanzo? What are we going to see here?
No, it's McCree, and then halfway through it's Reaper.
Okay.
Yeah, trying some of my old characters out, staying away from Hanzo for a bit.
Okay. Okay. Was there a decision behind, hey, I want to go mid here rather than right? Like, I see your ball went mid, but I'm not sure I care.
I wish I did go right.
Okay.
I wish I did, yeah.
Okay.
Because you'll see why. And I do. I was just too late on it.
Sure.
And I got so confused where
the
soldier was. Yeah.
So we can actually get into just some basic crosshair. Oh, that's a longer rewind than we wanted, so we will accelerate our way back through here. No problem. Okay, so here you go.
That'll get it done.
Yep.
Okay, so this is fine, sort of, but like you can sort of hear him. I don't know what you're looking up for. I don't know what's up there.
I hear him and I can't pinpoint it, and obviously he's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're searching, but like you want your crosshair to be in places that he can actually appear. So like if you look at this, you'd want it to be here, you'd want it to be on the door frame, etc. But okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hi, Zenyatta.
Yeah, so you just got a little lost.
Yeah, that's sorry.
Well, now.
It's okay. You're gonna pop off the next fight, get 5 eliminations. Everything will be well.
Hope so.
Trying to use Zarya's cover works for me. I don't love how long you're staying in the open here. So your Zarya gave you a bubble, and yes, you should get aggressive with this bubble. Totally fine. Be in the open. Be in the open. Your bubble's about to end. Be ready to close the angle again. This is not closing the angle again. This is making it harder for you to close your angle. The thing to close the angle on is this golf cart, right? So like you being here when you had the bubble was fine, but now you're still in the open, and you can't really, like, you'd have to roll to close this angle, and we don't like that. We don't like that at all. Okay, now you don't have roll and you don't really have anywhere to go. Like you could try to get here. You could maybe go crouch here. Like you're just totally. I hope you don't get punished. I hope the opponents can't aim.
Yeah.
Less a fan of that roll you did, but it looks like you're not gonna get punished for it. And now your roll's back. Okay. I don't need this roll, but okay. So, like, you got control of this, and I don't mind necessarily that you did this, but it would have taken you how much longer to go this way? Like, maybe in total it would have taken you a second longer to go this way instead of this way, and you'd have better control. You'd have better awareness of, is there someone still out here that's going to flush us out? Is there a stagger for us to pick up? Can I make sure that they don't escape? Like, if it's going to take you an equal amount of time to go the direction your team is going or to take the off angle, we like our off angles. We do.
Bingo.
Yeah, just let them clean up that diva and then take another angle.
Right. And here, you've got an angle, so that's good. You hear him. You hear him! Oh.
He doesn't hear me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know about this roll, though. Can you tell me a little more about this roll?
Oh, I'm going for the quick high noon.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get there because I know they're all
because you know the timing is right now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So my question would be, I mean, this obviously worked out good, but was it worth it in the sense that, like, they're just going to respawn back in, like, 7 seconds or whatever? Should I kind of wait that out for, you know, a push when they push towards the middle?
Here's what you run into. Are they willing to push with 5 people? They might be. They might be willing to push with 5 people. It's not like... It's not great. You're not super worried about losing if they push with 5 people, but they might be willing to push with 5 people, and High Noon isn't a great ult. So going, hey, you've dealt with McCree, 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. A 4-second stagger? That's okay, right?
Okay.
Like, you look at that and go, hey, their McCree is down. He's been down for 4 seconds or so when you get these 3 eliminations, and these 3 will all reset at the same time. And it's true, your team won't get to clean up the rest of these eliminations. They're unlikely to push out and get this Rhine. There's no way they'll get the Diva. But no, this is okay. At least as long as you get out, this is okay. Because we've created a situation where, hey, you staggered them for longer and you were able to get value, stagger value, out of a pretty weak ult. So yeah, this is okay.
Okay. I may not get out.
That's fine. You broke her back. Yeah, you should have been able to get out right there.
Yeah, and then the McCree shooting me, I didn't realize.
Yeah, so this is unfortunate. Because you do this, and you already demeched her. You don't need to eliminate her right now.
Just let her be. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to eliminate her, but you'd like to eliminate her in a good 4 or 5 seconds from now, not now. So, like, you're perfectly happy to be, no, do your thing, I'll eliminate you later. Yeah.
Okay.
Heroes never die.
Good try.
Back into the mix.
Unfortunately, she vouched for that try, it looks like.
Very well.
Yeah, she did.
Good. Crosshair's hanging a little low. It's not a big deal. You're mostly positioning this okay, but you're consistently hanging it a little low. That might be so that you can decide to flashbang people, but this isn't quite where you expect people's heads to be.
All right.
Why are you sweeping in here? Like, being back here made sense. You could shoot down there, you could shoot that, but then your next move would be, hey, I'm going to play here, not I'm going to play here. Again, you don't have great cover to go to from here. You, like, if they come through here and they immediately go after your team, great, but if they don't immediately go after your team, if they turn to go after you, they'll immediately punish you. Whereas if you're here and they turn to go after you, you have cover, you have the ability to retreat, and your team gets to shoot them in the back when they go after you. So this off angle like this is strong, but I wanted this off angle back here, and I wanted you able to threaten the second lane.
Was probably just trying to get a flashbang on the Rhine, yeah.
Which is good. Like, I like the flash on the Rhine, and it's like, oh, look at this. I got this flash on this Rhine. This is awesome. Except your team's gone. Like, your Hog's here, but you can see your team is falling back. This isn't gonna, like, they can't follow up on a flash play. Flash Rhine plays are mostly when your own tank is in their face to do work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear him. You don't have either of your cooldowns, so you're kind of just doomed. You've kind of just got to pivot and shoot at him. You can't reload here, and you know that, though. Like, it just doesn't work. You have to take your shots at him.
Sorry.
It'll take more than that.
Oh, yeah? You're gonna jumpity on your way there? Okay.
Just a few. Skipping my way back.
That's a bad habit, because you just used it here, which gives you a predictable arc.
Time to read my
Excuse me.
Okay. Great.
Rest in
You
peace.
see that? Fine. Unfortunate. I'm not super worried about it, but unfortunate. Here you are. You don't have your cooldowns. You're forcing this with a huge health lead, but the one thing that he can do is he can beat you with flash. Like, that's the one thing that he can do. So we'd like to keep just a tiny bit more distance, and we don't.
Yeah.
I've seen the light.
Heroes Heroes never die.
Ouch.
Yeah, obviously there's a soldier
Yes.
shooting at me in the back, but
Yes.
I still went with that.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Just-
I assumed your brain was just still in I'm pressing this mode and you hadn't even registered the soldier was back there yet.
Yeah, that's exactly. I didn't
Okay.
like register the
Yeah,
soldier
that's-
yet.
I mean, you have to, and you had signs that told you that the soldier was on the
Yeah.
way, but, like, I'm not worried about your reaction time. We make your reaction time better by having you pay more attention to what's going on the map.
Yeah.
It's a long time fighting this Reinhardt.
Yeah.
That's had the mercy on him the whole
I could have
time.
turned on the mercy. Probably could have gotten.
Yeah. Like, you're looking at this, and you're just like,
So
I'm
desperate
gonna,
for him, man.
I'm gonna get him. It's okay, he's still half. I'm gonna get him. Okay, like you could, but that mercy beam, like she's right there for you. She's right there.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
even
a
if
little
you
damage boost would have helped.
even if you don't eliminate her, you can probably make her go away, and then the Rhine will be that much easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a lot of time with you doing damage in a very high risk, high reward position to not actually get an elimination.
Just building up my ult, man. Just building up that ult charge, that beautiful high
Might
noon.
be, I don't care.
Fall back. Defense breach activated. Rally to me.
It's time.
Cool. Probably could have done without. Definitely could have done without. Okay, I'll go back.
Okay.
It's time.
Great.
Saw a ghost.
You've got 3 shots left. Why are you reloading? Why are you rolling? You got 3 shots left. Okay, you've got 4 shots left. Great. You've still got 2 shots left, and there's a diva right there. Oh, you did fire one of them. My bad. Okay, I can live with the roll. Obviously, that's more for the self-destruct than the reload.
Back in the fight.
But I'm going to be grouchy about these reloads if they persist as an issue. Not because, like, oh, how dare you make this mistake, but just because, like, these do add up in terms of just think of each reload as, like, 2 shots that you didn't get off. Because you could get off 2 shots in the time that you reload your weapon if there's a target on your screen. And there's targets on your screen, or there should be targets on your screen on these reloads that I'm calling out.
Fair enough.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Believe me, I get
Yeah,
wanting
so
to
I
wear
think
the
I
armor
stick with
and all,
McCree.
but
This in
following
the
the
final
old
round
man
is
around must be nothing but trouble.
I
Reaper.
don't see it that way. To
Sounds
me,
good.
It's an honor.
Sounds good.
So you can still figure out if that reload thing is an issue in this round.
Oh, I'm sure I can.
Capture the objective.
My shield's up.
Enemy sighted.
Shield's taking damage.
A little surprised you didn't flick over to the Echo there, and that you stayed on Lucio, but we'll deal.
That's how you do it.
Hold speed.
Yeah, again, I don't particularly love this. Like, you're not in so much danger that you really need to duck bind cover there, or if you duck bind cover, it's just a quick moment bind cover. It's not a full reload. And you reloading here is kind of permission. It's not permission. She didn't know you were reloading, but, like, that mercy res is a lot more dangerous if you are able to fire those 2 shots instead of reload.
Right.
Get behind me.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Swat that annoying Lucio fly there. Okay. Don't necessarily reload with that sightline open, because you don't know what's going to show up behind him.
Okay.
Double kill.
I'm on fire.
Second or so from roll still.
I need a doctor.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Do you hear her? Do you hear her? Yeah.
No. Lily. When I died, I realized she was right behind me.
Are you wearing directional headphones when you play? Like, can you hear what direction stuff is in, generally speaking?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame the headphones on this one.
Okay, that's fine. I just mean, like, you know, some people are playing, when they're playing on console, they're playing with TV speakers, and it's like,
Oh no,
yeah, okay.
I have a $100 headset on, so
Yeah, there
I
you
mean
go.
it's not the greatest, but
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
desperation. But yeah, not like-
Oh! You could have canceled
Yeah.
that, too.
I know. I was a little late on that.
Yeah, like, you can totally cancel this reload with an E. Oh,
I
well.
definitely did try, but I was already pinned.
Yeah.
Back into the mix.
It's fine. I'll call that out. Like, I just want to point out that, just
Yeah.
so that I don't feel, so that it's not mysterious what I'm talking about. Reload. This reload is fine. Why is this reload fine?
Because I'm gonna reposition, and
Right.
I'm not gonna be able to see anyone. Yeah.
You're choosing to reposition. You're missing enough health that you don't want to keep peeking this angle. Like, you're going, hey, I am missing enough. I actually need to be behind cover for a moment to make them sort of forget about me, move their crosshairs off me, etc. And then you even on top of that end up, oh no, you do go back to the same sight line. But you needed their
Okay.
crosshairs off you for a moment, which is fine. And that you like needed it off for like a moment that is actually long enough to reload, not like let me just hot bind it for just an instant type thing.
Yeah.
Change your mind on whether you want to reload or roll there. Playing in the middle of the lane, playing in the middle of the lane. Okay.
Just lost in here.
What's that? The McCree,
I
yeah.
just lost him.
Yep,
no,
that's
yeah,
okay.
the McCree, yeah.
So are you going to get this timing right? Well, someone sees you. So, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I know the echoes behind you. You know the echoes behind you. I expect that your crosshair hold wouldn't be, hey, I'm trying to poke these guys anymore. Like, I'm actually worried about your life at this point. I'd expect that you'd swing it. Maybe you swing it at ground level, or maybe you swing it up in the air because you think she's flying. But, like, this is, I'm surprised that you're thinking I can just get poke value right now, because your life is pretty low. Like, now I'm in, until I have good cover, and good cover might have been this. It might have been, let me check. Oh, we're clear. It might have been this. It might have been I'm backing up to the mega. It might have been, okay, you know, that wouldn't have been comfortable, but that's what it might have been. But, like, until you've got good cover, I would be expecting more of a defensive crosshair hold as opposed to this aggressive let me actually do poke damage thing, which again you could do from here, but you can't really do from here when you think it's likely that this person will try and chase you, or you should think it's likely that this person will try and chase you.
Back into the mix.
Are we going to take this engage anyway? We are, but our team's a credible threat, so this is fine.
Heroes never
Almost!
Yeah, so close. Someone got her.
I finished them off.
That's fine. Just in case the mechanic's letting you down.
Might be on tilt. Might be, I don't care.
Everyone, on the objective.
I'm going whole hog.
Never had a chance.
Okay.
Suiting up.
Don't move.
To me.
It's high noon.
Why are you high nooning?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, you're high nooning because you think this is the end of the round, but you guys are only at 81%, whereas they're at 99%.
Probably.
You guys need to flip this, and this, like, you're not likely to lose this fight. You might lose this fight now that the shatter happens. I don't think you're going to. But you popped this before you were aware of the shatter, and this is like a victory high noon, a keep them off the point high noon, and you don't need to keep them off the point. You need to win the next team fight too.
That's probably what I was thinking. That was it. But you're right. There's still another fight.
All good. I'm just laughing that you're asking me to, you know, be psychic, read your mind, be a psychologist. I don't know, tell you what
Hey,
you're thinking. Like,
I don't remember what I was thinking.
it's all good. Okay, so this was dicey. Here you are.
Saw him teleport, so
Here you are. You're poking here, and I can live with you poking here. Your Mercy's spamming fall back, but she spams fall back at the drop of a hat. So nothing to worry about there. Exactly. Nothing to worry about there. So you're looking at this, and you go, hey, these guys are shooting at me. I don't necessarily like this. And now I see that someone's teleporting there. So now you're vulnerable to two different angles. Or you have threats from two different angles. You have a threat from here, and you have a threat from here. So your solution could be to like get right here to deal with the Reaper, or to try and get right here where like they can't see you, but they can still see you. So your other option is to go, oh, let me just back to here where I can only see the Reaper, or let me go answer the Reaper in here, because I'm not worried about a close range fight with the Reaper, because even in a close range fight, it's all about, are you going to hit the Wraith or am I going to hit the Flash? Like the close range fight, you'd prefer a long range fight, but you're not terrified of it. You can poke him on the way in, etc. So like over here is better than sort of walking or even rolling across this to fight him.
Very well.
yeah.
Because now Lucio or whoever's back there just gets to shoot you in the back. Plus, you've used your roll into Reaper, and Reaper's a close range hero, and we just don't like that. Yeah, so you kind of baited a bad engagement from your team there that they had to do, otherwise D.Va was going to take you out.
Gotcha.
Thought I was a gun.
Heroes never die. I'll fire at will.
Someone
I knew
So
you were
I
going
had
to.
it right there.
I knew-
No, I had it. Like they would have both been dead. Like because like the bar is full. Like the skull is on their heads. If I would have did it right there,
yeah,
I would have had two of them. But I waited too long. That would have won the fight in my opinion if I would have hit that.
So, the real place, though, to win the fight was 100% back here. Like, it was 100% back here. Like, what actually... I don't know if you win or lose this game in the end, but I know you won the first round, and I know you could have won the game by not having your team extend here, lose resources, etc. If you just been like, nope, I'm going to do this, etc., or I'm going to go over here and fight through here, etc. Like, this was higher probability than let me get my timing pixel perfect on... Boom. Like, let me get my timing pixel perfect now, where I pull it and I get the, like, sure, you could do it here and you'd trade and that would be great. You'd do some damage to them, you'd take out the Mercy, but rather than getting this timing pixel perfect, okay, maybe it didn't have to be quite
And they don't
pixel
get the res
perfect.
off because I get the Mercy. So.
Right. And I get that, but rather than like, oh, if I just pulled it in this exact fraction of a second, you could have just not opened yourself to a vulnerability that you didn't have to back there. But yes, this could have been better if you'd pulled the trigger a little faster on that as well.
It ain't my time. It's time.
Just suicide.
Yeah, it's overtime.
It's
It doesn't
over.
matter. Yeah. So again, we'll see what happens on your Reaper, but on your McCree, the biggest thing that I'd say is, hey, keep paying attention to that reload, but also keep paying attention to sort of your pathing, where you're going, etc. We saw that both there, where it potentially cost the round, but we also saw that in the first round, where you're sort of hanging out in the... Remember when the other McCree came out and flashed you? Sorry, that's not specific enough. Remember when the McCree came out and flashed you?
When he was like really low health and I had
Yes,
full health.
yes. And again, you're sort of standing in this place where he can shoot at you, and also the other team from their spawn direction can shoot at you. And you don't really want to be in those places. You don't want to be exposed to multiple lanes at once, because you can only point your camera in one direction at a time. Okay. So let's try to be a little more aware of that. But that's okay. Let's keep going here. And you decided to, instead of the little pew 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 weapons, you wanted the chunk weapons.
Yeah.
My ultimate is charging.
She was in voice chat yelling at us, so I just went up to her and said smile.
There you go. Creeper out. Okay. It's kind of Reaper's thing, I suppose.
My ultimate is charging. Enemy seen.
Okay.
Got from me.
Really? Okay, so he gave it to you. He just decided that he can't win this fight anymore. And the reason he decided he can't win this fight anymore is because your next step is to hop up here. Because if you hop up here and he flashes you, is he going to hit his headshot on you? V-Rod? Did I lose you, V-Rod?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. I can hear you now.
Is it me or is it you? Because you've been cutting out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought it was on your end, but maybe it was on my end. I couldn't hear you. So if you go up here now, can he really do anything? Like in theory, yes, he can still headshot you. Yes, he can still flash you. But
It'd be difficult for him. Yeah.
Right. So he actually just surrendered this fight.
So got from
Yeah.
me.
And then you decide to go challenge him out here, which is like, what am I doing?
Right. I did see the Bridget push up
Okay.
though with me.
Okay. Even so, I'd have liked to, she can be here while you're here. You guys can challenge him like this, but
Yeah, I could have done that. Yeah.
instead you get flashed, and you're okay. But
Yeah.
you can break him. Yep.
Fall back.
I know. These players who are like, no, anytime we're forward of the choke, it's wrong. And it's like, you do not understand what
Guys,
staggers
stay
are.
on point. Just stay on point the
I
whole
know.
game.
Just surrender map control. No, you don't want map control. I know.
Yeah.
My favorite though was when you hear the stuff, you hear the clips of them arguing where it's like, because you'll be reviewing VODs that are recorded as opposed to these, and it'll be like, no, it never goes well. It never goes well when people spawn camp like that. They always lose and go do that, and it's like you realize they lose after they've been staggering the opponents for 45 seconds. That's like 3 team fight. It's just
And
like,
I mean,
it's like, yes, they do always eventually lose, but
I guess I will fall back if no one's gonna push up with me there. So.
right. Okay. Really? Interesting.
I left my wraith too soon.
Yeah.
I
So
should've-
I don't know what
yeah.
his flash status is. I expected you to pretend you were Tracer and go behind him in 180. Is what I actually expected.
Yeah. Could
Expected.
have faked them out. But yeah.
Yeah. Like, you basically unwraithed right in his crosshair, and yeah.
Yeah. I think I was just using it to reload, and then like he kind of just showed up.
Yeah.
This death blossom is ready. Group up here. My ult.
Okay.
Jag tar hand om dig.
Enemy sighted.
You want to see a terrible ultimate here?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, maybe not.
Okay. I was thinking you were going to do it right there, but hey.
No, I wouldn't do it with a McCree.
So obviously the problem with this, sorry, I'm not talking this through enough. The problem with this is you go here. You don't know if anyone's holding up there. Like, you have no scouting information on anyone, if anyone is up there, and your team isn't really aggressing for you. Like, you'd prefer to do this teleport like 3 seconds from now when your team is like here. Or even if you do it when your team is pressing here, your teleport is only going to make you like 1.5, 2 seconds late to the fight. But you'll have a lot more cover for your teleport if you do it when your team is pushing through here. So this is just early.
Just time it a little bit better, yeah.
Yep. And then, you know, Wraith dodge the flash and win. But hey.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. So, I don't know why I do this. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, okay, okay. That's not how we use Blossom, but, you know, whatever. So when do we like to use Blossom?
I prefer to have a few people around me.
Okay.
Or at least not a Zarya that's like 10 yards away with a bubble.
Yeah. So Blossom tends to get used a little later in fights than some ults as a bit more of a cleanup because there's so many ways to shut down Blossom, like so many ways to shut it down, that it tends to be I don't mind using this in a 5v4. I don't mind using this in a, 4v3 type situation. Like, it tends to be used a little later in fights. It can still be used in 6v6s. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. But you tend to want a little more of the fight to have happened because as the fight goes on, people...
Cooldowns get out.
Cooldowns, barriers, etc. You don't get Brig Bashed, you don't get Anna Slept, you don't get a full DM in your face, etc. The exception to that would be, hey, do we have a Zarya bubble for me and, great positioning? Because if you can get like a Zarya bubble and a Nano, sure, just go wild. But hey.
I'm under attack.
Why is this a little better?
Oh, the team's there. Like,
right.
Yeah, and I have someone up there too.
Right.
I have a Genji up there.
Unfortunate. Are we still going to take this fight? I guess you've decided we are. Did your team make the same decision? Your team did not make the same decision.
No.
Okay, so you want to check when someone goes down like that. You want to take a quick look at your team and go, what are they doing? I can see them through the wall. What is their body language? Are they still pushing to take this fight, or are they backing off?
Yeah, I didn't pay too much attention.
Yeah, paying a little more attention to your team would help in general for you. Just to get your timings right. That's all we're talking about there.
Heroes never die.
This is a little dicey. Okay, worked out. So, here's the thing.
Yeah. What was dicey about that?
This is good.
Okay.
You have a Valk going, offensive Valk, and you have armor. And you're choosing to get more aggressive than your team, which is fine. I'm okay with this because you still have Wraith, you have armor, your team has a Valk going. You can get pretty aggressive here, and this is fine. But now you've used your Wraith here, and now your positioning is sort of every bit as aggressive. And that gets a little more dangerous. Absolutely finish the Zarya. Totally fine. But we're still sort of in this. It's fine. You've won. I'm gonna let it be. Like, I
Okay.
generally like your position to soften a little bit. You to go, nope, instead of going hard in, I'm going to hold this corner a little bit. Like, I'm gonna hold this thing that I can use as cover a little bit instead of continuing to go in deeper. But you win like a 5v2.
Yeah.
I'm wrong, so we're good.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, I thought they had another person or two still up. But hey, there you go. Little melee finish.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Yeah, she wants me.
She does. So we look at this, and it's not the end of the world. Like, we see what's going on here. You're deciding. I don't quite know why you stepped out this far. Maybe you're trying to off angle a little bit. That's what's going on. Not the end of the world. Obviously, you should respect. Hey, this is a May. This is the choke that she's gonna want to play around. Like, that's just a mental allowance you have to make for. I respect chokes on May specifically because what's the choke she wants? Oh, it's this one. So that's just something that you get specific to her that you think about. The other thing is, hey, do I want to do this? Do I want to hold here? How do I want to do this? Do I have a teammate holding here? And you didn't really have a teammate holding here, so it sort of becomes I kind of would have liked to play angles. I don't really want to just play stacked shield breaking on my Rhine. Like, that's not your preferred way to play the game. If you had a partner McCree who was over here, or Hanzo who was over here, sure, stay with your Rhine. But since no one's really controlling over here, I'd prefer you do it than just let it sort of be open or let yourself be playing stacked on Rhine.
Yeah. Should have been at a different angle.
This is my curse.
You're thinking about it.
I'm like,
Is
I'll
this a
wait
good
little bit.
idea? Yeah. Okay, so this isn't really any better timing than the first one. It's worse than your second one, and it's probably even worse than your first one, to be honest. But oh well.
From the shadows.
And you understand that's because your team isn't really drawing that much attention right now.
Yeah.
You don't get punished for it the same way you do from the first one, but that's kind of happenstance that someone was standing here the first time and they weren't the second time. Okay, so is your thought here that you're going to blossom and get 3 or 4 of them? Is your thought here that you need to do this to soften them up so your team can get in? What's your thought?
I don't remember exactly what the thought was, but I'm looking down at a Mercy and Anna, and I mean,
I don't know.
it's for me to get punished. They would have to like turn back, and
Okay.
it probably is a little early because I'm looking at my team. They're kind of far back.
Yeah.
But
So it's definitely early, and you described yourself as looking at a Mercy and an Anna, and I
yeah,
describe you as looking at a Sleep Dart, a Nade, and a Guardian Angel.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm maybe not quite as high on this
So
as you are, but go ahead.
I'm thinking. I am thinking ahead here. I am gonna bait out the sleep dart.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So my issue is if you're doing this to help your team rotate in, you're a little bit early, right? Like if you're thinking, I don't think my team could get in, I think I need me to pull some eyeballs to me so they can get in. I can live with that, but I wouldn't commit Blossom if that's what I think I need to do, and I really don't think you need to do that. I'd also like your team to not be here, but instead I'll actually be here. Like I'll actually be ready to push if
Okay.
that's what you're doing. But I wouldn't even recommend that because I simply don't in any way think that your team needs help advancing. Your team would be more likely to need help advancing if your team was back here and the other team was set up with these longer sight lines and these like they're set up on both sides so they've got angles and they've got long sight lines and your team doesn't really have cover as they advance through, right? Like that would be hard for your team to do. So you might go, I'm going to softly engage these guys from behind to get them to pay some attention to me so my team can rotate. The problem with that, and that would be reasonable. The problem with doing that in general, though, is you give up your element of surprise. Once this Anna knows you're here, she's going to pay a lot more attention to you, and it's going to be much harder for you to just get an elimination on someone, right? Like your most powerful moment for getting an elimination in a team fight is right at the beginning from an off angle before they've really adjusted to you being there. So you sort of
Okay.
give that up if you go, I'm going to be a distraction to help my team get in. So if your team doesn't need the help to get in, we don't want to give that up. We instead, go ahead.
Do you kind of like where I'm coming from, or do you think I should approach this at a different angle?
I can handle this. I think you're too far away, but I can, I
Right.
understand why you came in the way you did, and this isn't really bothering me. You could have potentially circled further because your team is so far from ready. You could have actually gone, I'm going to come in at an even more extreme angle. If you like, you could have potentially done an even
Mm-hmm.
more extreme angle because you have more time. But your approach here doesn't really bother me. Your timing does. We want to look
Yeah.
generally to go, I'm going to stack the first shot bonus that I effectively get, and they're not paying attention to me, with the bonus that I get from my team being in. I don't want to spend my first shot bonus before I've spent my bonus or before I get the value of my team also being in, because I want an elimination if I get my way. And the most likely to get an elimination is to get both of those, is to use both of those +1s at the same time, if that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Okay. You got it.
Sextuple kill.
It worked.
Yeah.
14 health.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like you have a little.
She should not have tried to sleep dart shoot. So like that, you got that sleep dart out way too easily. But hey, I'll just live. I'll just live.
Will made real.
They won't.
Gotta live with
but,
that.
Sextuple kill. What's there to complain about? The things that I spent the first, the prior 3 minutes complaining about. But what is there to complain about? Okay. You can
Fine.
wraith dodge that.
Get in position.
Yeah, probably.
Victory.
So,
Probably feel
Hey.
cheated if I'm Reinhardt.
Get into position.
let's see. He's not on.
No, McCree's
not
not on
on.
it quite yet. Yeah, they're not on it. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Victory.
So for your Reaper, your biggest thing is something that will help you on every DPS hero, which is this engagement timing thing. And I mean this engagement timing for the actual engage, but I also mean for taking your teleports. Like, you want to do your teleports because they're kind of still loud, they're kind of still obnoxious. You want to do that, and remember how I talked about how you can relieve pressure? Like, if you decide your team can't get in, you can relieve pressure by pressuring from behind and sort of giving up your first shot advantage. Well, the flip side of that is, you can relieve pressure for your team, but your team pushing up, your team rotating through something also gives you pressure relieved to do this type of thing, and then you're less likely to be caught or less likely to be pivoted on immediately if there is someone here. So that, the timing goes for your shadow steps, but it also goes for your actual engages in terms of this better understanding of, hey, I want to do stuff when my team is doing stuff. I want to check on my team before I open angles. And, we talked about this primarily with your McCree, but this absolutely applies to Reaper too. Or we talked about this primarily on Reaper, but this absolutely applies to your McCree too, is what I would say there. So that would be the biggest thing. There's more that you could do in terms of a little bit more not stacking on your Rhine. You tend to get a little, as the fight goes on, you tend to slop on your Rhine rather than re-establish off angles, I noticed. Like, we saw that a couple times where, hey, you got caught by the Shadow, and I'm talking about wraith dodging it, but really, do you need to be here in the first place? Should you be over here? Should you be thinking about over here? Should you even, like a small off angle, a flank? Like, you have better options than I'm just here. And same thing here, where it's like, oh, you get cut out by the ice wall when you should have been here in the first place. So, like, we could get more advanced and talk about wraith dodges. We could talk about, hey, go through the Reap, make the McCree work a little bit more for it, etc. But I'd really say, no, remember as the fight is going on to re-establish your angle as the McCree. It's very easy to get sucked in as the fight goes on into, okay, I started with my angles over here and here and here as a team, and we all just sort of end up as we're winning the fight pushing in to clean up like this. And a little bit of that is okay in cleanup, but if you haven't solidly won the fight, you sort of want to re-establish your angles. If you're just up like 4v3, you want to reestablish your angles a bit more, etc. But the bigger thing will be your engagement timing, and that'll help you on all of your heroes there. I was trying to not get an annoying ticky sound. Okay. So yeah, those are the things that I would cover for your heroes. Do you have any questions about any of those or about anything more general?
No, we're on the same page here. I'm not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Then I think we're good to go. Let me go ahead and end this guy here.